life lost at a time that no one was expecting. The funeral was such an emotional event that started at 6 a.m., just before 6 a.m. in the morning, where we saw a procession of, the funeral undertakers' vehicles drive into Lufuno's home, where they fetched her coffin and then drove to a local church a few meters from where we are right now. And then there was a very short church service where people, speaker after speaker, just spoke about the loss that they are experiencing after the loss of Lufuno's life. And shortly after that, we moved to the cemetery. As you can see behind me, Blaine, this is a tombstone that has been erected on Lufuno's grave. And what we gather from the family, this tombstone, including the entire cost of the funeral, the coffin and everything else, the food, is everything that has been donated by South Africans who were touched by, Lufuno's untimely passing. As I'm sure our viewers recall, Lufuno took her life on Monday, shortly after, she had been assaulted by a fellow learner just outside the Mbilwi High School in Sivasa. And, she got home, she overdosed on medication. And when the family realized that, she wasn't feeling well, they called the ambulance. But by the time the ambulance reached the Siloam Hospital, which is like a stone throw away from her home, literally, she had already passed on. And Blaine, this is a touching story that everybody in South Africa has been talking about. Everybody saying, we must do something to the bullying that led to Lufuno deciding that the only solution is taking her own life.
Isn't it, with
Blaine?
Regards to the issue of bullying in schools? It throws the spotlight on it. Talk to us about what do we know with regards to the other learner that was involved in this case. Talk to us about the legal process that is following.
Yes, Blaine. Yesterday I was in court at the Thohoyandou Magistrate Court, where the other learner who is seen in the video assaulting Lufuno very violently was arrested the previous day, and she was making her first court appearance in camera, whereas journalists and other members of the public were not allowed to enter the courtroom, where only the state and her defense as well as her family were present. What we understand from the PA, yesterday's hearing was a preliminary inquiry where the learner had to state her circumstances in terms of what led to the assault and whatever defense she has in place, where her case was postponed to next week, Tuesday. So the NPA over the week, next week, we expect them to tell us what would be happening. But what we know thus far is that, she's been charged with a case of assault. We don't know if the case is going to continue or if there will be other mitigating circumstances that will lead to the case being withdrawn. But Blaine, this is not just the only learner where action has been taken against. There's also 3 other learners, one of which we are told is the one who took the video that has been trending throughout social media. And the other 2 are the ones who were cheering the assault. The school has suspended all 3 learners, and they are going to go to a disciplinary action, where the disciplinary hearing, where at the end of which the department will take a decision on whether they are expelled or they are allowed to go back in class. So at this point, South Africa has been calling for action to be taken against the people who are seen assaulting and cheering on Lufuno. At this point, there's an arrest. At this point, there's a suspension, and we're waiting to see how those 2 processes will be unfolding as time goes on.